Hey, what's up, guys? It's Saint Asonia here. Thank you so much for submitting your Sixth Sense questions. I can't wait to answer them. And big shout out and thank you to Nikki Sixx for having us. So
And Jen.
and Jen, of course. Nikki Sixx and Jen.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what do we got here first. I'm going to ask you this one first. Maddie from Lancaster asks, what is your favorite song on the album?
Whew, that's a tough one. I gotta say, one of my favorites. It's hard to pick a favorite, but one of my favorites would be "Waste My Time." Just being the first song that Mike and I wrote together, the first ever song we wrote together. So, yeah, and the story behind it. You know, it's kind of a love song, and it's like the lightest song on the record. It's a pretty heavy record, so you know. But
I remember you sending me that one too. I remember because I couldn't wait to hear what you would come up over it, and you did a great job.
Well, thanks, man.
Let's go.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to ask you, Austin from Frederick. Aside from the acoustic version of Fairy Tale, will there be another bonus track?
Austin, no.
Never.
I mean, there's some other songs that we did record. That Fairy Tale version came out really cool. Definitely a different take on the song. But I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with the other songs. Actually, I mean, I'm sure they'll see the light of day at some point. I mean, for me, one of the hardest decisions on this record was deciding what songs to put on the record because I was pretty happy with all of them. Actually, I think they all really came out great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we had a hard time sorting out which ones to leave off the record just because we were happy with them all.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
tough one.
Okay, let's see. Wesley from Buffalo.
Buffalo. Close to Toronto.
The old Bills.
Sabres.
Anyways, will you guys try to release another album every 2 years?
Well, we're not going to try to release any more records. We definitely are going to release more records. As for every 2 years, it's kind of up in the air. isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think for me, and we actually never had this conversation, and I mean, there's still a lot of music, and I mean, we'll be on the road, and I don't know. I mean, I think the sooner we can get some stuff done and back out there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty inevitable that there's going to be, another second, a third, potentially a fourth record. We got lots of material, so.
Yeah.
And when you're on the road touring, you're always writing. So I mean, it's going to be.
There's not much else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So other than that.
All right. So, Karina from St. John would like to know: are you guys going to go out on tour when the album is out?
See, I get these great questions. Corinna, yes. Next. Yeah, in fact, we have a tour scheduled that starts in a couple of weeks. We're doing this press for the record now because it's coming out, and we actually roll right into rehearsals from here. Try to actually be able to play these songs in a live setting, which should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun if we can do it.
And we do this little headlining run that starts in Oklahoma City on August 14th and into early September, and then October we go out with Seether and tour with those guys, which should be good. Old friends, great band, and fortunate to be playing with those guys for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Anna from Portugal. What is your favorite song to play live?
That's a good question.
We had one show.
Well, yeah.
At that one show, what was your favorite song?
So far, the one show that we played was Rock on the Range in Columbus, Ohio. My favorite song that we played that day was definitely Let Me Live My Life. It was the last song that we did. It's such a great up-tempo, just ripping song that's a lot of fun to play, and the crowd reaction was amazing. There's just a sea of people just kind of, jumping up and down. So that song for me, definitely playing live, Let Me Live My Life.
I would have said the same.
Yeah.
This is it. No, that was her, Ashley. Don't
Oh,
skip
oh,
over
oh, sorry.
poor old Ashley from Anderson.
Okay, well, Ashley from Anderson, Mike, would like to know what venues are you most excited to rock out in? And will any of them be smaller scale clubs and bars? Or?
I mean, actually, this first tour pretty much starts out in smaller scale clubs and bars. I don't know. I mean, I haven't I don't remember which. I know there's some venues that we haven't played. I haven't played in a long time. It'll be on there.
You know what I'm looking forward to playing?
Tell me.
The Machine Shop in Flint.
See, I've never
Michigan.
played that place.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's just super tiny.
Right.
There's no room on stage at all.
They're great with the merch though, because every band that I see like will be rolling in that area, and they all have Machine Shop shirts
yeah,
on.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? So,
yeah.
yeah, it should be good. I know that show's doing really well, and I know that the like the VIP packages are doing good there, and so it should be a good one.
Yeah. I think a lot of these club shows are gonna be great.
Christopher from Perrysburg. I've never heard of you in half these towns.
Yeah, they're not giving us the states or anything,
No.
so we're just kind of Perrysburg is somewhere.
Oh, this is good for you because it's about lyrics. I couldn't answer this. Of all the song lyrics on the album, which are the most personal to you as far as being over the last 3 years?
Wow. That's a tough one for sure. The most personal for the last 3 years. I think I'm going to say Let Me Live My Life would probably be, again, I know we mentioned that song already, but Let Me Live My Life is probably the most personal just because it just has the meaning behind that song is just about kind of being dragged down, and I feel like over the last few years of my life, I felt like I was being dragged down in many different ways, and I kind of broke out of that. So, Let Me Live My Life probably means the most to me. But it's also a tough call because they all do in different ways. All right, next one. Moving on. Jonathan from Telford would like to know,
Good old Telford.
what is everyone's favorite car?
Pinto, the exploding
I
car.
love the Pinto. You just remember that?
Here from the back. No, I don't know.
You got a
Favorite car? I like the Aston Martin. Pretty nice car.
It's a nice car. I'm gonna have to go with the 65 Mustang.
Oh wait, 50 Mark. We're going
Okay,
old school.
There you go.
Yeah,
65 Mustang.
Cobra.
Mustang.
Mustang. It's your Mustang.
Not the new ones. Not the new ones that you can rent at LAX that are just like for $5 a day.
Justice from Baytown. What was the inspiration behind the lyrics of "Let Me Live My Life"? There you
Well,
go. I guess it's touching Justin also.
Well, Justice, yeah. Yeah. So we kind of answered that already. So thanks for the question. And it's it's about being, like I said, dragged down and breaking away from that. So, all right, Cassandra from Havelock, and I'm going to assume that I mean I don't know for sure, but I don't know how many Havelocks there are, but there's a Havelock outside of our hometown of Peterborough, my hometown of
Oh,
Peterborough,
okay.
Ontario, and I'm assuming
I'm one because I've never heard of a lot of these towns, so
Yeah.
it's. But yeah, I've never heard of.
and I
Havelock
knew a
either.
Cassandra from Havelock, but
Maybe this is
it
her.
was a long time ago in high school. Okay, is this project a more relaxed, creative environment than our previous project?
I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, I think that as time goes on in any relationship and as you move forward, things build up sometimes. So when you first start out, remember they call that the honeymoon period.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everything's always kind of like, oh,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, like a week from now, I could hate you.
yeah. I mean,
Not that I hate guys in my other band.
I
I'm
can,
just saying,
I can
but-
feel it coming that tomorrow morning. I think I might.
We're gonna wake up and be like,
Yeah, it's
no,
coming.
I don't know. Listen, making this record definitely was it went pretty easy. So right now, but I mean, listen, as I said, you spend 20 years with somebody, and there's things that kind of build up over time, but you realize what's important, and that's trying to get the music out there. And
At the same time, you start, in a band for 20 years, you start pretty young. So you're pretty young, and then you sort of mature and evolve or whatever as
yeah,
people. So
people change, and
Yeah.
things go on. But yes, I mean, all in all, right now, I mean, things are really good, and I mean, I hope and I plan, that they stay that way. But I can't read the future. The future.
You can. I know you can.
All right, Suzanne from Jeddah. What inspired Better Place?
Absolutely nothing inspired Better Place. Not a thing. All right, so no, I'm just kidding. No, Better Place was. I mean, the lyrics are fairly straightforward, fairly blunt. Like I was saying earlier, last couple of years of my life, been kind of kind of crazy, and I felt stuck in a lot of different ways. And Better Place is just about finding strength to sort of get out of a negative spot that you're in or a position that you're in, and just finding a better place, for yourself, and maybe becoming a better person. So, yeah, that's really the inspiration behind that song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
Well, thanks, man. Sarah from Montreal.
Yes, Sarah.
I'd like to know who's inspired you all to become great musicians.
First, thank you, Sarah. Appreciate the compliment.
Thank you.
I mean, there's so many inspirations. I mean, I always say I started playing guitar because of like folk music, whether it was like James Taylor or Harry Chapin or Jim Croce, or I mean, I heard that singer-songwriter thing, and I was always very drawn to, and still am. There's some great ones around now. Also, Led Zeppelin. I mean, huge fan. Van Halen. It was a huge influence.
Journey.
I mean, dude,
Def
Neil
Leppard.
Sean, not so much, but Journey. I love Journey.
Yeah.
But Pantera was a huge one. Rage,
Motley
Tool,
Crue.
Motley Crue. How do you go? I was shouting at the devil. Believe it. Junior high, used to play that song for sure. Live Wire, all of that. There's just so many great bands. I mean, I was huge into like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, and so a lot of great musicians and great bands out there. Oh, perfect. It's a good one for you. Garrett from LA.
What up, Garrett?
How'd you guys come up with such a badass name?
That's a good question. Well, really, Asonia just really, we were kicking that word around for a while when we were trying to come up with a band name. And Asonia basically means being tone deaf or not being able to hear certain pitches or whatever. So we kind of thought that was funny and ironic in a way, just being in a band, being tone deaf. And really, we just, I think somebody threw out the Saint in front of the Asonia, the Saint Asonia, and it sounded good, and it gave it more of a little bit of a positive vibe. So, yeah, that's really it. I mean, there's no.
I'm the saint of tone deafness.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no super deep, meaning that. I don't know. We try not to think too hard about things.
Right.
All right, well, Preston from Seminole. Can you guys give us a sneak peek of the set list for the upcoming tour? Here it is, ready?
No.
Get it?
I don't know. Listen, I think it's going to be great to be able to go out there and play a longer set. I mean, it's cool to go out there and 30 minutes, slay a bunch of heavy tunes, but I think it's going to be cool to go out there as a headliner and be able to play some of the other songs off the record. So I look forward to that. Being a fan of your old band, I enjoy, if we play, a song or two from those guys. I mean,
It's the same for me. I mean,
right. So I mean,
playing a Stain song.
Oh, right on. Well, thank you.
I love doing that.
So I mean, there might be some of that in there, and we actually haven't written the set list. We just learned a bunch of songs, and who knows what it'll be. I mean, maybe change it from night to night a little bit, and maybe we try and do some cool stuff. So once we get into rehearsals, which start this week, we'll probably have a better idea of what that'll be.
And
But
again, sorry, I was just going to say there's songs that didn't make the record that we might end up playing live too. So
cool.
cool.
Oh wait, I think I skipped one. I think
Let's
I'm
skip.
two. Yeah,
Let's
so
skip Ray, man.
Ray from Orange. How would you describe the overall sound of the new album?
I'd have to say it's very raw. It's very real. It's very emotional. It's not overproduced. It's not too polished. It's not too shiny. It's just very organic. I think it's a hard rock record that is very personal, straight from the heart, organic. Really. So yeah. Yeah. All right, Ed from Valencia. Is there a certain band member that did most of the lyrical writing for the album, or was it pretty collaborative?
Well, it was very collaborative. Adam wrote them all, and he collaborated with himself pretty much to write them all.
I collaborated with my hand to write them. My mind was involved sometimes. The whole thing was pretty collaborative. Music and lyrics. Mainly, Mike had tons of music, and I had tons of lyrics. So that's kind of the way it went.
You
But
had some great music too, dude. So I mean, there's definitely that. So I mean, yeah. But it was, we got together. But yeah, Adam writes lyrics for sure. Yeah. Great. He does a great job of it too. That's why he does it. Michael from Memphis. Are you nervous to release your debut album for the first time as a band? What kind of feeling do you have leading up to the release?
I'd say not necessarily nervous, more excited than anything, and there's a bit of anticipation there to see how people are going to react. But I think maybe on the 31st, when the record comes out, when I wake up that morning, there might be a little bit of there might be some butterflies or whatever. But for the most part, it's all excitement and adrenaline, and just looking forward to it and seeing how people react.
Look, it's going to do what it's going to do. We went and made the best record that we could, and I'll always stand behind it, and I feel very proud of what it is. So I mean, I just hope people listen to it and give it a chance and hopefully enjoy it, because I do be happy with it. So
Ricardo from Lisbon,
Lisbon, Portugal.
Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo, okay, he'd like to know who is the most opinionated of the band. That's a tough one, actually. Well, I mean, I would say that you probably are.
I would say you're probably right.
Yeah,
I kind of always have opinion.
Yeah.
I try to be, diplomatic
course.
about sharing it.
Of course, yeah.
But I do have an opinion usually.
The cool thing is that, yeah, like we all have opinions. I think Mike is more, might just,
be more of a dick
be more
about
vocal about them
explaining
or
it.
whatever, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? We don't really have any beefs or anything like that.
No.
So
And listen, here's the deal. I think everybody shares it, and whatever makes the most sense. You pretty much it's usually a pretty easy answer to figure out what that is.
Yeah,
and we've all
normally agree on
totally.
most.
There hasn't been something that's been an issue so far. So
yeah. Dean from Melbourne.
yeah, down under.
Do you ever use emojis? If so, what's your favorite? That's a good question. I like that.
Is that for me? Because I don't.
You don't? Really?
Have I ever sent
Never.
one in any text that you've gotten from me?
Nope. Never. Not once.
I don't
I
think
send
you
them
do
to you all
either.
the time, and I'm like, why don't you send me one back? I'd either go thumbs up, and Mike's just like, whatever. Send. No, I think maybe the thumbs up and the
I've seen
and
the
arm.
fist pump. Oh, I've seen
there's
the fist pump.
there's
I've
the fist
got
pump, and
from
then there's
some
the
people. Yeah.
flags too.
Yeah.
I don't really know why. I mean, it's not. It doesn't really mean.
When you're as
anything.
huge as you are, though, dude, I mean, you can kind of
That's the
send
thing,
that.
man.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the
In
poop
fact-
emoji's fun too. Just random. You just send it randomly to somebody. You're in the middle of a
My
conversation.
son will send me just like a gang of a whole line of just the poops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun just like picking random emojis just that don't mean anything. You get flags, like a pumpkin, a ghost, Santa Claus, and then like some Chinese couple eating dinner, and you're like,
I've never even looked through them.
You should.
I probably should.
You should
I
start
don't know.
using them.
I guess I
Start using
should.
them. All right.
All right, I'll tell you what, Dean. Emojis, here I come.
There you go. All right, Kelly from Petersboro would like to know what song was the hardest to complete on the album. That's a good question.
You know what? Actually, I was going to say there really wasn't. I don't really remember a time, but you know what? When I think back, there was a song that didn't make the record that you had written that I really loved.
Right.
And we kind of tried to take it in a different direction. I
Okay.
remember being about halfway through the record and listening back to it and like, kind of ruined this song. I
Right.
thought.
Is that the voice?
Voice of
right?
Nick.
Yeah. Voice of Nick.
And scrapped it and started over because it was. I mean, and it wasn't even that it was hard. It was just that we tried to do something different with it,
Yeah.
and it was wrong.
We kept trying different directions.
Yeah. We tried to make it something that it didn't need to be because it was great the way that it was.
Right. And yeah, so that one didn't make the record.
But that was one of the ones that to me was like, I love that song and that chorus. I mean, I still walk around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, stuck in my head.
It's
So
cool.
that will see the light of day. I mean, somewhere, somehow, because it's a good one.
Yeah, and that song again is called Voice in Me.
Voice in Me, yeah, it's a good one. So that, and it wasn't, I just think that we went down the wrong path when we started.
Yeah,
And we shouldn't
working
have.
on that, yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't that it was difficult, we just kind of left-turned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leah, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Right?
You know her?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
Minneapolis is pretty big.
You sure?
No, I don't know. I really don't know.
What's each of your least favorite part about touring? It's the easiest question ever. Go.
What do you got?
I mean, I got to leave my family.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids at home, and when I got to leave them, it sucks.
Yeah.
Wife. I mean, it's
I agree.
not fun.
Leaving
That's the worst
family
part.
at home, not being home.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
And dirty socks in the front lounge of the bus. That would be the other thing, which won't be happening.
Yeah.
All right, Olivia from Arlington.
This is for me, huh?
Yeah, this is for you. Who's an up-and-coming band that you really support right now?
No idea.
Can I?
Yeah,
go
please, go ahead.
and
Yeah,
say
go
one?
grab it.
I'd like to say Art of Dying.
Oh,
Art
yeah,
of
yeah, no,
Dying
sure, yeah,
is
yeah, those guys are
my
great.
cousin Kale's band.
Yeah. No,
and,
for sure.
Kale and Johnny and Tavis and Jeffy.
Good answer, good answer.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They've definitely paid their dues, and they're still still up and coming and
Killing
working really hard and got a great record. So
Guys in Disturbed signed those guys to begin with.
that's right.
Yeah.
Good band.
Nick from Wichita. Who inspired you guys musically while growing up? Why don't you kind of answer that? You didn't though, so go ahead. You give yours.
It's funny because the acoustic singer-songwriter thing we have in common, like
Right.
Harry Chapin, which is super random that
Yeah.
you grew up listening to him. So
Love
that,
him.
but yeah, it's like Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Bob
Yeah.
Dylan. Got into when I started writing music, it was pretty much like the Seattle music scene when I was roughly 14 or whatever, listening to Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and Dinosaur Jr. and stuff like that. So I would say those are kind of my biggest influences. But I listen to everything. I mean, it's
Sure.
all over the place. All right, Ava from Oakland,
Oaktown.
Oaktown. She'd like to know what each of our craziest fan experiences are.
I go to the one that I always remember was doing an in-store signing, and you're sitting there for hours and signing stuff, which is always great. It's awesome that people show up, and this kid walked up and he comes up to the table and he pulls his leg off and he puts it on the
Are you
table.
kidding me?
No.
I was gonna say the same story, and then another one popped in my head. We had the same guy.
Trustful
Probably
kid.
the same guy. Yes, but
But yeah, and as we're signing, he's like, "Oh, my mom's gonna kill me." So that was. I think that probably sticks out the most.
that's cool. You want to know what the creepiest thing?
No.
Creepiest thing that happened to me was we did a meet and greet, a really quick meet and greet before a show, and my security guard came back to the dressing room to let me know that there was a kid out there that had all the same tattoos as me. Like all of the same ones, like including one of my grandmother up here, like really personal tattoos. This kid had all the same tattoos, and he warned me about this guy, for the meet and greet, to just be careful. And so yeah, I came out and I was just like, I met him. I was like, hey man, nice ink or whatever, and he was like, yeah, thanks man. Which is weird. So that was kind of a crazy fan, but he's a big fan. So thanks for being a fan.
So Wyatt from New Orleans asks, "Do you like the direction rock music is going?"
I do. I definitely do. I think there's a lot of great new music out there. It's very cool, and it's all over the board. Like there's super heavy bands now on the radio, and there's just the alternative bands that are awesome. On that note, I'm pretty proud of the record we made in that sense that I feel like it's something different and unique. I think it kind of stands out. So yeah, I'm
Should be good.
yeah, for sure.
It's a good day.
Yeah. All right, here's one for you, Mike.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Samantha from Miami would like to know what's one song on your iPad you're kind of ashamed about. Not fully, just kind of.
Should I be ashamed that I don't have an iPod?
Oh, well, that throws a wrench into
That really
doesn't it?
throws a wrench in the.
Let's just say, what's the song that you're ashamed that you
I'm
have on your
ashamed.
computer that you listen to?
I don't know. If it's something I like, I'm not really ashamed of anything. I know that's not a good answer, but if I listen to it,
You brought up "It's Raining Men" earlier, right?
it is kind of my theme song.
So there you go. Are you ashamed or not? But you're not
Not-
ashamed.
not
of
at
that,
all.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Hallelujah is all I gotta say.
Hallelujah.
No. I don't know. Do you have one?
You know, I really don't. I mean, like.
So I always ask that guilty pleasure song.
Guilty pleasures
I
are.
don't know.
It's a weird thing. I don't really think. I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to sound anything, but I don't really have any guilty pleasures. Like, if there's something on my iPad or on my iPod or phone or whatever that I like it. I'm not really that ashamed of it. You know.
I could say something funny because my kids do have iPods. And they buy music, so when it does, it's under my account. They don't have their own. It shows up on my phone.
Sure.
So I have like an R5 song, which I don't even know who they are, but I guess you could say that R5.
There you go. A lot of One Direction.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really have the 1G.
All right. Well, Megan from Cleveland, she wants to know if we have any rituals or routines before we go on stage.
I like to warm up. Play guitar for a few minutes, you know, stretch a little bit, stretch the old bones, and that's about it for me, really.
Yeah, I do the same kind of thing, dude. You know, jump up and down a bit, stretch a little bit, and play a couple songs on the acoustic guitar and try to warm up the voice. That's about it, really. Yeah.
Whoa, Cam from Austin.
All right.
Describe the new album in 3 words. I got it. Super duper awesome.
I was gonna say super fucking awesome.
Oh, there you go.
So we were on the same
I'm trying
page
to keep
there.
it clean here, you know what I'm
I
saying?
probably should keep it clean and maybe we'll have to
PG-13.
that out or something.
That's all good.
But yeah,
There you go.
Yep.
Cam, thank you.
thanks, Cam.
Oh, here we go.
And we're done.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Fans, thanks again for sending in your questions.
yeah, we really enjoyed being on tonight, and we want to thank Nikki Sixx and Jen for having us. Yeah, it's been great talking to you guys. Thank you again for the questions, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Rock and roll. Stay in Asonia. Out.